You've seen this man before. His name is Feature Man, one of the oldest YouTubers on the platform, literally, and also conceptually. Not conceptually, actually, but he's old. And this man committed a cardinal sin. Everyone knows there are a few rules on the internet that everyone has to follow, and most rational people agree with these rules completely. Don't put pineapple on pizza. Mark Zuckerberg is a lizard. So am I. Left and right Twix, that's a scam. Don't mess with animals, and most importantly, don't mess with children. And unfortunately, all of these rules are violated by the beings on the web. These sacred rules. And the most sacred of all these, in my opinion, is the children one. You can't mess with little kids. They're innocent. This old man, Feature Man, who you've probably seen some of his videos, like I mentioned.
I probably should have brought some napkins.
This old bastard got exposed. When did this happen? Well, 50 years ago. This is a rare thing that almost never happens. Now, the old man that I showed in the very beginning had some incredibly unfortunate details leaked of him recently that happened 50 years ago. He's been canceled, as you can imagine, but he's still posting. Most people that are in this sort of situation in which they victimize a child, they get their channels deleted. But this man, he's still around. It hasn't affected him because it happened 50 years ago. That's a long time. But in my opinion, I don't care. I don't really fucking care, dude. So who is Feature Man? Why do we even give a heck? A freaking crap. His name is Tom. He's an old man, a victim of gravity. He was born before the Second World War in 1938. He's a record producer, a film actor, a singer-songwriter, and also a YouTuber. His first taste of true internet popularity that got him to almost 500,000 subscribers was these watermelon videos that everyone has seen on the internet. It's insane.
Hello, watermelon students and food fans. Today we're going to learn the correct way to eat a small watermelon. That is a small watermelon, but it is quite good, very sweet.
Seems like a nice old guy, to be honest, but he's actually a disgusting creep. This original content was considered pretty wholesome, even by myself. The old man making cheap, budget-friendly boxed meals, like a college student. It's relatable, right? It's relatable to us single men who never developed any sort of cooking prowess beyond simply reading the directions on the back of a boxed meal.
We're just innocent men.
He's just like a little dinner buddy in a strange way. But
a bologna sandwich, that's about as plain as we can get.
Little did we know, he's also a dirty, rotten... Now, the YouTube stuff is just what he's been doing recently in the last couple years since his massive rise to fame and success and views and now his tragic downfall. But in his past, as a younger man, he was generous with his time. He did a bunch of volunteer work. He played music for kids at Child Haven, a place for children with traumatic pasts or kids who had been abandoned by their families were there. And just in general, a lot of kids that had suffered from forms of neglect. So truly a virtuous thing to do. He would play the guitar, offer lessons to the kids, and then his true intentions were revealed after a court case was leaked. The court case goes over a horrible tragedy and crime that Feature Man committed back in the 70s. In one of Tom's visits to Child Haven, he went to the room of a boy who was interested in the guitar and who revealed himself to be a disgusting, twisted, sick, predator, horrible piece of shit guy. And his inappropriate behavior would occur multiple times with this boy, who was 14 or 15 at the time. And during the same month, he went to another children's home and behaved inappropriately again with more young boys, all under the guise of volunteering to help decorate for Christmas, which is just sick, absolutely sick. And I'm using the phrase behave inappropriately because it makes my stomach turn when I read the actual information. By the way, this is an entertainment channel. If you guys would like to read the horrible stuff, we'll have the court case linked down below. I don't recommend it. You get the idea, right? This man is a piece of shit. Essentially, these actions proved a pattern of behavior and, you know, he's a predator. He preys on young, vulnerable children, extremely vulnerable children. Not even just regular children, but ones who had experienced some degree of trauma in their life. That's fucking worse, dude. How can you make it worse? How do you find a way to make it worse? During his trial, it's documented in his court case, Willett versus the state in 1978. It turns out 3 boys testified against him. So 3 testified against him. I wonder if there were more that didn't testify. That, you know, it's an extremely traumatic thing. There's even a newspaper clipping from the time that it shows that he waited for some of these boys to leave the protection of the homes that they were in before seeking them out further, which is absolutely disgusting. He was also suspended from his volunteer duties, surprisingly. And a little cherry on top, just to show how disgusting this man is, in another newspaper article from the time, he claimed that he was unlawfully detained, and his basis on that claim was that the laws were too vague for him to face charges. Just don't behave inappropriately with children, you piece of shit. At the time, a jury found him guilty of this violation, the infamous crime against nature. He was sentenced to life imprisonment. Yes! But wait, he's on YouTube still posting to this very day. What the f? He really fell off, though, to be honest, and he disabled all of his comments. So the life sentence was suspended, and he was placed on probation for a long time. Massive reduction in punishment was still too much for him. He tried to appeal it. He sought a reversal in the judgment, and the reason was that the court made an error in admitting testimony from his victims, which is, I mean, what a slimeball. True piece of shit. His strategy worked, unfortunately. He got out of the charges. The state decided to drop the case against him, which is unbelievable. Personally, I think the state dropped the case because if he got out on this technicality and turned out to be correct and he won everything, it would threaten cases with similar perpetrators in the future, which would be very, very, very bad. And by the way, he didn't walk because he didn't do anything wrong. He was not exonerated from his crimes against humanity, his infamous, disgusting acts. He walked because the justice system failed us yet again. Fuck. So his past has now been obviously exposed. All this information is out there. There's no secret. He is still, crazily enough, just posting away. Dude is a master of just ignoring his haters and his ops. But since all this happened, a bunch of people have covered it. Critical covered it. Mudahar covered it. I wanted to cover it in the very beginning, but I wanted to wait to see if there was anything else that would come out. And by God, a lot of new stuff has come out, and I'm glad I waited because it just gets so much weirder. There's basically a massive witch hunt right now going on with this man. And the witch is actually real. This is a real witch that's on YouTube posting. And as days go by, there's more and more stuff that keeps getting uncovered by the community. One of the most disturbing things that has come out is this thing called Nerdy's Fantasies, which is written by a fellow named Tom Willett. There's not 100% confirmation if this is the same guy, but I wouldn't be fucking surprised. There's no crime in this. It's just really creepy and weird. And it's also about a really old man being with, it's a fanfic about a 53-year-old man being with a 22-year-old that could pass for a high school senior. So I don't know who the fuck Tom Willett is, but he's a creepy bastard. And it's on this website, which is, by the way, riddled with alarming things. Not only is it just a UI nightmare from a web development and design perspective, but there's some really bizarre stuff. There's also like a comment section for the page, people leaving their reviews and how much they love it all. It's unsettling. It's so bizarre. And you can see that people had their ages and stuff up there. So I wonder if Nerdy, the guy who made this website, you don't have confirmation if it's Tom, but he could see their ages. He could reach out to them if they liked it. Not 100% sure that this is the same Tom, the same feature man that we're talking about in the video, but it is copyright 2001 Schmerdley Music Tom Willett. That is his full name, Tom Willett, and his alter ego or his piano name was Herman Schmerdley, which is a really bad name, but it's just another link to kind of narrow this down. The only reason I'm including this in the video is because it's very close and people believe that this is the same fellow. I have no idea. Regardless, it's extremely fucking creepy and really fucking weird. And, of course, the man made an apology video, which is now deleted. He goes over a lot of stuff. It's maybe the most epic apology video background I've ever seen. Peanut butter, 2 bags of chips, based, red-pilled. It makes him feel very relatable and starts to humanize him, and then he starts talking, which is disgusting. He talks about his arrest record and says how long ago it was, and he really emphasizes that. He describes the prison, his life, but doesn't mention his crime involving a minor, multiple minors. He mentions that he helped get the law changed because of the sex acts, the crimes against nature thing. What? Terrible joke. Bro got away with it due to a technicality. He also asks if anyone has had a clean record for 45 years and then makes a joke saying if they haven't sneezed in public.
Is there anyone else out there who's got 45 years of a clean record and I haven't sneezed in public or anything? I mean, let's be sensible about this.
What? Of course, most people have records, clean records. Not everyone is a fucking criminal. okay? That's pretty uncommon. Maybe not for YouTubers, but for regular people it is. And he goes on and on without stating the obvious, which that his crimes were between a minor, and him, an old man. And he says that the crime against nature was people who committed these crimes of the same gender. So a man committing these crimes on another man, or a woman on another woman, not a man and a woman. And then he says that a witness testified who was above the age of 18. He doesn't clarify that the case was in 1978, but the crime was committed in 1973 and 1974, which is, you know, 18 minus 4. It's 14. It's not good. Old man knows how to post on YouTube, but doesn't realize that a simple Google search can completely expose everything that you know, everything's public. All the info is public. So why is he not in fucking prison or jail? I have no idea. He got away with it, literally. We gotta start like making there be consequences, guys. So the old bastard has weathered many storms. He got away with one of the worst crimes a human being can commit, and he won all that stuff. What is he doing now? Still posting videos on YouTube. And this, I just want to say, this is sick to me, because this is such an adorable old man. I love old people. I have an inherently, you know, kind heart towards old people. I'm not racist against them, or ageist or whatever. It's a little off key, but it's still wholesome. It appears wholesome. I want to know how many people see this and aren't immediately, they don't actually know the truth behind this. It's so strange. The most strange part is that he just never stopped.
Hello, food fans. I'm at Popeye's today. Haven't been here in several months. I've got some coleslaw. This is my...
Looks like he drove a blimp. All the comments are off, as you can imagine, too. It's not good, man. It's not good.
And the cloning is done by taking actually one continuous shot. I'll be here for half of the shot.
He's a genius. He figured out how to clone himself. Now there's 2 predators instead of 1.